what I think is happening is that Cyril himself has been betrayed.
Okay.
They have not unlocked the 380 billion US dollars that is sitting as reserves in South African corporations. They have not.
Please pause there. You're saying South African companies are currently sitting on 380 billion US dollars, just holding it. They don't want to pump it into the economy.
They don't want to pump it into the economy. Now, in 2017, when Future Growth, which was under Old Mutual, which was under Trevor Manuel, decided to withhold their money from South African state-owned enterprises, I would understand that they did that because Zuma was in charge. But Cyril Ramaphosa took over, and he has taken over for almost 5 years now, and they haven't released money. Those corporations, South African white corporations,
they're waiting for Cyril to clean out.
Have not released money.
People.
That's what they keep saying. But some people are beginning to say they're waiting for the destruction of the ANC when it loses its majority, so that it goes into coalition, so that the true leadership that they wanted to come in the first place, the DA, comes into national power for a reinstitution of the most powerful system that this white monopoly capital had, which is the apartheid system.
Why is the West not given Cyril and Umbalula backlash for their utterings?
Because there's a fight for the soul of the ANC in South Africa right now.
But the West could hear Cyril say what he's saying and Mbalula and be like, no, punish these guys.
No.
They're talking rubbish.
They can't.
And since Cyril's been in power, we've never been downgraded. Load shedding is at its worst, losing jobs, becoming more of a welfare state. Nothing from Moody's, S&P, nothing. Quiet. Standard & Poor. But
ESCOM has never been worse than it is under Cyril Ramaphosa. Transnet has never been as worse as under Cyril Ramaphosa. SAA, SABC are all in crisis. Much more than they were under Zuma. To the extent that Malusi Gugaba actually looks better than Pravin Gordhan.
Sure.
Right? But the reason that is happening, I don't think Cyril is blind to the fact that they have sabotaged him to that extent. They've made his presidency look worse than the Zuma presidency. White capital.
The funders.
The West. The bankers.
I hear you.
They might not be downgrading, but in real terms, they have actually made Cyril run a much more difficult economy to run.
I hear you.
That realization is why you're seeing South Africa realigning and taking its power, or the position of power that it has in Africa, to start playing negotiations. That's why you see Lavrov was here just 2 weeks
Russian,
ago.
What is he, finance minister?
Minister of Defense, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Minister of State Security.
State Security. Oh, because he met with Naledi Pandor.
I'm just forgetting his title.
Okay.
So he comes, and guess what? Janet Yellen is here this week. So there's a tug of war where Blinken has to come. Lavrov comes. What's her name? The lady I just spoke about now. Janet Yellen comes. Yeah. They're fighting for the soul of the ANC because it's a very important government on the African continent. So if they quickly punish, of which they're already punishing, and both Cyril can feel that they're being punished. In fact, Cyril is feeling betrayed. I went in, I said to the people, Tuma Mina, to do your work, to make sure that we keep South Africa neoliberal. And what you do is you kick me in the teeth by not giving me capital to finance my state-owned enterprises. The state-owned enterprises are falling apart. And everybody now thinks that they're falling apart because I'm destroying them for my own personal benefit. But that doesn't do anything for my presidency and my legacy. So he has to now say, okay, if you are not going to give me everything that I want, I think I need new allies. So when Cyril came in, he never strengthened the BRICS relationship. Now they're beginning to talk about strengthening the BRICS relationship. I heard Naledi Pandor saying that they actually think that BRICS must create its own currency so that dependency on the US dollar is reduced.
I don't take politicians seriously. It sounds like a good idea though.
But I think that the moves are being made. And the Americans can hear the rhetoric and they understand that the rhetoric is real. Why? Because for the first time since the fall of the Soviet Empire, we actually have two different poles that are beginning to form. And the BRICS power group is actually looking stronger and is looking like it's got more longevity than the US and the Western group. The Northern Alliance group or North Atlantic group, I think they're dying out. And South Africa is being told by partners. And Zimbabwe has played an instrumental role because Zimbabwe has been leaning east for the longest period since sanctions happened. Zimbabwe is beginning to say, you might lose elections. You need to know who your partners are. You need to understand.
Zuma was right.
You need to understand